G'day everyone, it's Q Explorers here, and this is how the site looks in 2011, 119 years after that photo was taken. This is the point where the pilot station was. To the left here is the river, which leads upstream to the town wharves, and to the right, hopefully the wind's not too bad out this way, is the Coral Sea, and beyond it the beautiful blue South Pacific. It's not too blue today though, it's a bit overcast, but anyway, this is how the site looks today. I hope we find some good old relics here, because it's had a reasonable bit of occupation. 1885 up to about 1950 it was in use as a pilot station, so there should be some good old relics here. We'll go and have a look. Well, here's our first old relic of the day. It's a harmonica reed. So we're on the old stuff here, so this is a promising sign. That's the first target we've dug this morning, so that's great. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, well, here's our next artefact we found. It's an old piece of a clock, or a possibly some sort of instrumentation. So we're definitely getting the old targets here, so that's a really good start to the day. Well, that was about 4 inches down, so there's a lot of roots there, so there's always going to be something old because it's well down in the roots. Okay, well, this is the rear of the old chief pilot's house there. You can see that little bit of rock was the rear of the house. We've just got another indication of the age of the site. It's an old big old square nail, big one too. It may not be a nail. It looks like it's made out of copper, so I'll have a look at that when I get home, and we'll try to identify what it actually is. Okay, well, this is the area of the chief pilot's house viewed from the landward or riverside, and you can see here this old stone pitching. It's visible in that 1892 photograph, actually, where the edge of the house was, along the side of the house. They built this ridge line up a bit, so they had a bit of flat ground to put the house on. So all this old just native rock that they've stacked there, that dates from the original construction in 1885. So we'll have a bit of a look along here. Looks like a good spot. Well, this is the seaward view from the old chief pilot's house. That's the Coral Sea out there, beyond that coconut palm, and then in that direction, this should be where the front of the house used to be, is the entrance to the river, and then over on the landward eastern side, that's the river in there, and the pilot services were used to cross the bar there and navigate up the river channel. There were some old lead lights out here, but the remains of those are long gone. I'm just going to get out now and see if I can find the remains of the original signal post foundations. Well, I'm at the back door of the old pilot's house now for sure, because I found the doorknob out of the back. Old early 20th century sort of doorknob, so that's a good find. Right where there's a little bit of concrete here where the back step used to be. So we're on the spot. Now we're looking at the landward side. That's where the rear of the house was, and there was a few little cottages down there, I guess, for the boatmen and all various workers that were at the old signal station in the 1800s. It's now a modern park, and there's a boat ramp down there. Well, there's a little bit of regrowth jungle out on the front of the old house site. Looks like I may have found the old original signal post foundation. It's on the top of it. There's a little cliff here about 6 feet high, and this was visible in that 1892 photograph where the chief pilot was down the front there with these two women folk. So that's probably the original signal post foundation there. Here's a good example of the stone pitching. We're right out on the front now, just below where that signal post foundation is, and this is like the one corner here where the stone pitching runs back that way. And this is all grown back, of course, since the early days, but that's a river out there, and the bar where the pilotage services were used came across that bar there and into the river. It's about 7 miles upstream to town, to the town wharves. So this is the point where the little lighters would have gone out to the ships for the pilot. At least something I got a couple of holes back. I thought it was a fishing sinker and didn't worry about it, put it in my pocket. I just went and cleaned it. I think it might be a musket ball, a drop musket ball. It hasn't been fired. It's about 1/2 inch diameter, perfectly round lead shot. There's no holes or anything in it, not like a sinker, so my American mate Fahrenheit 1100, you might be able to identify that for me. You're pretty good on the ammunition, so possibly a musket ball from the 19th century. Well, that's a pretty good find. Okay, we're at the rear of the residence now. Where the car is down there is where I imagine the old boatman cottages and things were, and that's the modern park area going through there. We just got a first old coin by the looks of it. It's just come out of the ground. It was only about 2 inches down. Penny. I'll give it a little clean and see what I can see, and come back with a date. Can't quite see what it is, but hopefully it's an old one. I'll get right back with a date. I'll just give it a quick clean down there and out the car, and I'll come back. Well, I'll get it a clean down there, and it doesn't date from the early use of the site. It's a 48 George VI kangaroo penny. Lovely old coin nevertheless. But the signal station, to my knowledge, existed until the late 40s, early 50s, so it's possibly is associated with the occupation of the site during the signal station period. So that's good. I'm happy with that find. We'll move on to the next one. Well, we're at the rear of the house still, and I can't take the credit for this coin. It was the better looking half of NQ Explorers, but there's a lovely old coin down here. Looks like it may be a halfpenny. And we're definitely starting to get a run of good finds now at the rear of this house, so we'll stick in this area. Well, let's give that a quick clean and we'll get a date. Okay, we'll just give that latest coin a quick field clean. It's a 1926 Commonwealth of Australia halfpenny, so that's a really good find. That definitely dates from the signal station period. Okay, we're doing well here. Move on to the next target. There's a couple of relics in this hole. There's a spent 303 case and a lovely old keg tap. That dates definitely from the late 19th century, early 20th century. That would have been part of the original occupation, so that's a good find. Okay. I'm just under these 2 old coconut palms here, and I found what may be a bit of a relic. It's a little ornate casting, possibly the top of a teapot or something like that. Came up nice and high in the detector. May only be lead, but it's fairly old. The other thing I might like to apologise if there's any marks on the lens here. I went down to the rocks this morning and wet wheels up on the rocks and the camera bit the dust, so it's copped a bit of damage. I hope it gets through the video. Anyway, we'll keep hunting. Well, I've just picked up another nice old coin here in this area behind the pilot station, where I imagine the boatmen and the attendants for the pilot station lived. There's quite a few people out here and some children too. That's why there's a small school. Looks like it's a penny. A George VI penny. So it could be from the wartime period. We'll have a look at the date on it, and I'll subtitle a date. But that's a good old penny. There we go. Okay, just stay in this area and we'll keep looking. Well, this year's it's a 48 kangaroo. It's in lovely condition. There's hardly a mark on it. No corrosion. George VI, 1948. Actually, this is the second 1948 penny. So I'm hoping that these coins do date from the use of the area as a pilot station, because there wasn't much activity here after the war, directly after the war. But yeah, that's a nice find. Well, how about this one? I've just found that 1948 penny. The next dig, just a few feet away. Another coin. The poor old humble penny. Took an awful beating during his lifetime. I don't know what's happened to this one, but I'll give that a quick clean and get a date off it. Probably another rue penny. But it's good. We're finding the old coins now, and some nice relics with it, so it's good. Okay. Well, we're still in the rear area of the pilot station. Now, that's the main pilot residence up ahead there, and in this rear area, I've been getting a lot of lead roofing nails and that sort of thing. I've got another coin here by the looks of it. Looks like it's a halfpenny. Just came out of this plug. Yeah, definitely a halfpenny. I'll give it a clean. Got plenty of dirt on it there, and put a date up. Okay, that's another good little find. On we go. Well, it's a little kangaroo halfpenny, 1951, so it definitely wouldn't date from the pilot station days. I think the place had been demolished by then and it was probably a public park, so this may be date from the park period. Well, the tide's on the way back in now across the bar there. Looks like a nice little spot for a swim, but I wouldn't be tempted. There's a few big crocodiles in there. Well, we just dug up a bit of an ant's nest here, so a nice old penny came up with it though. It's an old Commonwealth of Australia penny. So this is a date from the early days of the use of the sites, King George V, so that's a good find. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Well, it's day 2 of our hunt of the old pilot station. Nice and clear this morning, but there's a bit of a cool breeze blowing. Waiting for that sun to get a bit warmer. But we've just got a nice old penny out of the hole again. This one looks like it's a kangaroo. Yeah, 1952 by the look of that. That's how it came out of the ground. That's pretty good nick, that one. I haven't been doing any live digs on this video. The ground's fairly gravelly, and we can't use those prospecting picks, so a live dig would be longer than Lord of the Rings, so I didn't really want to put you through that. So I've just been digging the plugs and filming after the dig. Anyway, on to the next target. Well, this one's one of these old square brass nails. We've got quite a few up here. Government buildings, they didn't spare any expense, and I guess being right in the ocean, no steel nails. But that's an old nail, that one. It's been pulled out there with a claw hammer by the look of it, but it's a good one. Okay, move on. Well, here's a bit of a wrap from the finds on this old marine pilot station site. I guess our objective in coming here was to find things that were I could directly identify to the use of the area as a pilot station. So I've arranged stuff here in reverse chronological order. Here's some modern coins from its current use as a park. These coins here are from the 1950s, so that's probably the end of the old homes that were here, or perhaps even when it was a park, 1950s style picnics where the coins were lost. Then we get back into the 20s. Now these coins, 22, 26, they're definitely from the pilot station period. That old teapot, I think it's an old ornate top of a teapot or a sugar bowl or something. Door latch, the old brass nails, see they've been pulled out with a claw hammer there. Lead roofing nails, 303 cartridges. This bit of machinery, I'm not sure what that is, it's brass. The harmonica reed, possibly a musket bore. That's definitely from the old pilot station house. It was right at the back, where the back door actually was. It was just straight there on the ground. That's amazing. The keg tap, that's a good find. That's from the late 1800s, early 1900s. So now that's been a great little hunt. We've really enjoyed it here today, and I hope you've enjoyed watching our video. Look forward to bringing you some more soon, and best of luck on your next outing.